Okay, hi YouTube. Let me speak up a little louder and everything. Well, earlier today I posted a video. I was supposed to be trying to do 12 hours today on Uber, but I actually I had, you know, maybe that's probably why it happened. On the last video, I noticed I said about 3 times I talked about my son Brian, the one who's special needs and everything. And I kind of think maybe I brought something into the atmosphere or something. But really, I don't want to talk about Uber too much because of the simple fact I do Uber, but I do it as an income and everything like that. That's the only thing, that I do for the past 8 years for income. But the reason I'm saying this is because I really have to talk about what I know. And the reason I'm doing the video is because while I was out and everything like that, and if you have a special needs son, family member or anything like that with mental illness, my son has mental illness, and so this is what I think that I should talk about, that God is kind of leading me to talk about, because of the simple fact, this is what I know, this is what I've lived all my life. My son is 31 years old, and he went into crisis today. His diagnosis at the age of, I don't know, about 22 or so, the final diagnosis was paranoid schizoaffective. That's what his diagnosis is. But all throughout his life, we've had several diagnoses, from autism to ADD to ADHD to depression, all kinds of things. So really, I right now I just kind of want to talk about him because he's in the hospital. He went into crisis today. I don't want to say exactly what he did, but I mean, if people, I don't know if you guys have family members that are paranoid schizophrenia, you kind of know things that they go through. So there could be violent tendencies. There could be tendencies where they hear things, and sometimes those voices ask them to do things and everything. And that's what happens with my son Brian a lot, and it leads him into crisis sometimes. Sometimes the crisis, because paranoid schizoaffective, it's like a mix of bipolarism. So he has those highs and lows. So he gets manic, and then sometimes he gets depressed, and then the paranoia, like I said, auditory hallucinations, and sometimes he has visual hallucinations. So today he got into some trouble, and we had to admit it to Grady Hospital. Now, I appreciate all mental hospitals, but Grady is kind of like, it's on the lower end as far as, because he's on disability, so they put him to the nearest hospital. You know, they put him to the nearest hospital, and so anyway, they what I hate, and I hate to say it, they don't keep him long. He doesn't have a time to recalibrate the medicines and get back, the way that the best that he can be, So I'm praying and hoping that they will keep him longer. Now, it's a hospital that sometimes that we can get him to, and it's in Montezuma, I think, Montezuma, Georgia, somewhere. And that one, they will keep Brian about a week, and he does very well when he gets out. They give him the Halidol and all this stuff, and he gets back calm again. And that hospital there, I'm really hoping that Grady will send him to that hospital, or some kind of way we can get him there. And so I can just talk a little bit about Brian. Brian, like I said before, he's Brian is 31 years old. Sorry about my voice. He's 31 years old and everything like that. But Brian and his father and I, we met, and we didn't have a long relationship or anything like that. So I didn't know a lot about him or anything like that. And what I did know later on, I found out there were a lot of untruths in those things and everything like that. So Brian was the type of baby that, you know what I'm saying, he was like, he had delayed things. So he walked later in life. He was very hard to potty train. And let me see here. He I don't think he had delayed speech or anything like that, you know, and stuff like that, but he did have like just some things he was delayed in, put it that way. And so, you know, I, of course, 3 and 4 years old, he was talking by then and everything like that. So I know that he wanted to go to school real bad. So, you know, we were able to get him in pre-K, and we got him in pre-K and everything like that, and he was doing okay. You know, he didn't have many problems or anything like that. So they just knew that he was kind of like a loner. You know, I could sit there. He had an older brother, my oldest son. You know, they are 3 years apart, and so he had an older brother, but he preferred to kind of play by himself. I remember he used to get a shoe, and he would entertain himself, and he would have like the shoe and hold it by the shoestring, and he would just kind of twirl it around and everything like that. And it just fascinated him for hours at a time. But honestly, I mean, I didn't pick up because, like I said, he didn't have speech delays or anything like that. So, you know, he seemed fine and normal to me. Like I said, besides the delay in the potty training and everything else, I kind of really just kind of put it off on me because at that time I was working 2 jobs. So I was like, if I just put enough time in to potty train him and do the things that I need to do, he could go ahead and be further along and stuff like that. So Brian, when he was in school and everything, like I said, you know, nobody said anything or whatever. And so I think when he got around like the first or second grade or